Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out the worst pirates you've never heard of by BlueJay. I don't know exactly what he means by worst, as in like they were total failures, or were they like genocidal maniacs, so they're just terrible people. I guess we'll just have to find out.
At the height of the morn, the sun pierced its cloudy prison to cast its radiant gaze upon Captain Johnny P. Ritt, the scourge of the seven seas. Squinting through the brilliance of molten gold rays, the young pirate swaggered along the length of the schooner, every second step proclaimed by the resonating clunk of his peg leg on weathered timbers. The splashing sea sent sparkling salty spray, showering the sun-soaked smiling sailor, accenting his striking pose like a badge of valiance. At the bow of his ship, the aspiring pirate's eyes locked onto his approaching prey. The prized galleon of the Spanish treasure fleet, and a soon-to-be first big score as captain of the Flintlock Fiends. With a wave of his hand, these poor rapscallions would bear witness to the wrath and judgment of his schooner's payload. All that was left to invoke his trial by iron and flame was one word: fire! While the adventurous tales of Bartholomew Roberts, Francis Drake, and Blackbeard paint a tantalizing picture of life plundering booty on the high seas, the gods of statistics and reality are always there to remind us that pirate life was much more likely to be as successful and abrupt as our little friend Johnny's here. As for every pirate who succeeded in finding riches, there were dozens more who ended up as pathetic, wretched, miserable failures. Sometimes in many pieces. That's right, we're talking piracy, of the seafaring variety. So cock your flintlocks and chase some parrot flocks, because today we're gonna talk about the worst pirates you've never heard of.
If it's a Nintendo game, pirate it. Nintendo sucks. It's a dog shit company. Fuck 'em.
Hey there, buddy, what you got there? A pirate ship? Oh wow, are those cannons? Yeah, I'm gonna be the most dangerous pirate on the seven seas. Yeah, let me hear your best yarg. Yarg! Wow, that's awesome. Well, good luck. Dreams of sailing a cannon-packed pirate ship are fun and all, but it's not as fun as crushing those dreams in World of Warships. It's 1717, the golden age of piracy, and Major Stede Bonnet set sail for the first time as a pirate captain. And also for the first time ever. There were numerous ways one could find themselves pirating during the Golden Age. Many were poor sailors seized by dreams of riches and freedom. Others were normal sailors seized by pirates for their riches and freedom. And some were seized by the Royal Navy before seizing command to seize riches and freedom. Bonnet, on the other hand, had an origin unlike most others, in that he did not come from mediocrity, but rather aristocracy. Stede Bonnet grew up in Barbados on a wealthy estate of over 400
Why would you go from aristocracy to piracy?
Which he inherited at the young age of 6. After his parents passed away. Now, you might think growing up on a farm would build the sort of rugged and handy character necessary for swashbuckling piracy, but this is the 1600s.
Yeah.
Okay, I know this looks bad. Yeah, 94 African slaves
do any actual work.
Tolerant 1600s. Okay, I know this looks bad. Yeah, 94 African slaves doesn't really scream tolerant. No, that's not fair. I have 3 whites as well. A socialite of society, charmer of faint hearts. Major
if they're
Stede
slaves,
Bonnet
then
was known to be a proper gentleman. But don't let that major deceive you. He got that from the Barbadian militia, which was essentially just a bunch of landowners who hunted down runaway slaves. Like I said, with his wife and 4 kids, he was all set to cruise the lazy river
and one died.
Of the good life. But all that would change one fateful day when he decided to take a detour. It's 8 in the morning. That can't be right. The life-sucking vampires would be back in their coffins by now. Yet instead, here you are, sucking down Madeira wine like it's the first job you've ever had. Well, Mary, I just thought it was about time someone did some sucking in this house. And it's pronounced Madeira. Oh, go down to the harbor if you want to gargle the Spanish so much. Portuguese, Mary! It's Portuguese! From the subtropical archipelago of Madeira, which, spoiler alert, is in the name! If you put half as much thought into this household as you do the bottom of a bottle, oh, here we go, then Mr. Peppers would still be alive. How was I supposed to know the dog couldn't tuck and roll? Because who launches a dog 60 feet in the air with a sugarcane trebuchet? He had a dream, Mary. What? A cherished aspiration or ambition. I know what a dream is. Then why'd you ask? Mr. Peppers died? Because I wasn't sure if I just heard the most ridiculous 5-word sentence in my life since I said, yes, I will marry you. That's just... You're a 5-word sentence! George, I swear to God, if you touch my wine glass, I will force feed you rose thorns. Sorry, sir. I also need you to go pick some rose thorns. Of course, sir. In a very bonkers and BlueJay approved
So he's gonna have to do it anyway.
Decided to spontaneously abandon his life to become a pirate. Many sources claim it was because he was tired of his nagging wife's constant yapping. Others speculated it was due to the stress from having lost a child. And some theorized that the avid bookworm was captivated with wanderlust of the pirate life.
It's probably the wife.
Time. But whatever the reason, I think it was pretty clear that our little steed had a bee in his bonnet per se. So despite having literally no seafaring experience, he set off to kickstart his new career on the high seas. Typically the first thing every new pirate had to do was steal a ship, but that sounded like a lot of poor people work.
So I guess
so just bought.
So I guess this answers my question from the beginning. These are not some sort of horrible people. These will just be pure incompetent idiots.
One instead. After getting the other essentials like cannons, ammunition, and a private library in his personal quarters, all he had to do was wrangle himself up a crew. Hello, good sir. You seem to be of the rather swashbuckly sort. How would ye like to join me pirate crew, yarg? Pirate? What, because of a parrot? That's kind of fucked up, man. What, it can talk? No. It just knows that one phrase. That's kind of unsettling. What, is your monumental ego threatened by the mere idea that something you see as just an animal could possibly be more intelligent than you? Or are you just surprised by the fact that someone told you no for the first time in your privileged life? Or perhaps is this reaction just an outlet for how unsettled you are at your own life circumstances as a whole, spanning from the obvious contention plaguing your marriage to the palpable insecurities encompassing your fostered resentment at the predetermined trajectory of your affluent life? Okay, maybe two. Brock? After gathering a crew, Bonnet kept up his tradition of breaking pirate tradition by paying them a salary from his own fortune, as opposed to the norm of just splitting shares of plunder. With all his boxes checked, the gentleman pirate snuck out of his home, out of the island, and out of a family that he would never see again. Adjusting to the pirate life aboard the Revenge would have been rather interesting for Bonnet. Instead of his usual lavish courses of veal, caviar, and gummy worms, which I only assume are staples of every wealthy man's diet, he would have had to settle for slabs of salted meat, dry biscuits, and whatever other critters they could scrounge up whilst plundering booty. Oh, how cute. I think I'm gonna call you Donatello.
Drink its blood.
Which isn't a reference for anything yet. No, it's not. That's good, but I think he's more of a bow staff guy. The pirates started their hunt around the East Coast, where they found some success at first, capturing a handful of ships without a fight and releasing them after they were de-bootified. Except for the Barbadian ones, which, in order to keep word of his activities from reaching home, he burned to the ground. Even with the profitable start, Bonnet's inexperience really started to shine in these encounters, and the crew began to lose what little respect they had for the gentleman pirate. But hopefully, all that was about to change as they spotted a massive Spanish merchant ship on the horizon and raced interceptor with their Jolly Roger raised high.
This isn't gonna go well, I'm guessing.
The big score. Set the blowy sheets to max and let's get this booty, yarg. Blowy sheet. Full sail. The men say full sail. Sorry, and these men pay your salary? Blowy sheets to max, men! Davy Jones, that's no merchant vessel. It's be a Spanish man of war. I mean, Peter, come on.
Oh,
We've
no.
all dabbled in red light districts. What? Not a man of whore, man of war! Listen, I'm not one to judge, but if you're into being eaten, just don't do it on company time. No, not man of war, man of war! Cortez himself? He's here? What? How did you get conquistador? The pirates quickly realized they weren't facing a merchant vessel packed with luscious amounts of shiny metal, but a Spanish man of war packed with scary amounts of deadly metal. The ambitious hunt turned into a rapid retreat as the Revenge scurried off faster than Bonnet left his family, but not before the man of war made the sky a lot more inclusive of the periodic table, killing and wounding half of Bonnet's men, including the big man himself. After their escape, the Revenge sailed towards the pirate sanctuary of Nassau, where Bonnet would get to network with his new co-workers per se. A task our gentleman pirate was well accustomed to.
Oh no, he's still alive, just wounded.
Networking events, the biggest criminals stood out the most, and Bonnet found himself making friends with none other than Edward Teach himself. Iconic for his rather dark and fuse-filled facial hair, a blackbeard, if you will. That's right, the arguably least experienced pirate in history struck up a bromance with one of the most notorious pirates of all time. While the early details of their relationship are speculative, we do know that the two captains agreed to sail together. However, with Bonnet's captaining skills being about as competent as his parents parenting ones, Blackbeard quickly caught on to the man's lack of seafaring expertise and hatched up a plan. Alright, so just hang out in ye quarters here and let me worry about the captaining. Oh, okay. I mean, I kind of feel like a lazy prisoner, though. No. Think
That's
of it
what
as
you
an,
are.
Apprenticeship. You're gonna be learning the most important part about being a pirate, yarg. Low-risk plundering tactics? Yarg, spot on, matey. And you can learn with this. Monopoly? There be no better way to learn theft than capitalism, matey. Okay.
That's true.
And should I also start sticking lit fuses in my hair? What? Oh, shit. Wow, that could have been bad. I swear they have a mind of their own. They do. Anyway, to work with ye. Pirating be tough work, fit for only the strongest men. Sir, you're, missing ice cream time. You better have saved pistachio. Blackbeard persuaded Bonnet to give up command of his ship and become just a measly passenger aboard it. A change that was definitely a relief for Bonnet's crew. The Revenge found a good deal of success under Blackbeard, all whilst Bonnet kind of just hung around awkwardly like an engineer in... well, pick a social setting. Day after day, Bonnet's command felt more artificial than a Call of Duty code of conduct, but he felt past the point of no return in his pirate life.
That exists?
He confided in some crewmen that he was tired of it and would gladly leave it all behind to live life anew in Spain or Portugal. A few weeks later, according to some versions of the story, Blackbeard would get a new flagship and separate from Bonnet after reinstating him as captain. Sailing through the Bay of Honduras, Bonnet and his men soon found themselves face to face with a new prize. A massive 400-ton, 26-cannon merchantman, the Protestant Caesar, a score too attractive for Bonnet to let slip by. Having much more combat experience than his run-in with the man of war the year prior, Bonnet closed the distance, cut behind his prey stern, and opened fire. Bonnet lost the cannon fight and retreated into the night with his timbers thoroughly shivered, leaving his crew to grow ever more resentful towards their gentleman captain,
to kill him.
who just couldn't seem to catch a break. After making port, they just so happened to run into Big Daddy again, who proposed Bonnet be replaced by a new captain named Richards, a proposal Bonnet's crew wasted no time in accepting. Having once again lost command, Bonnet was back to being a puppet, challenging Elmo's record for the longest time spent with a hand up their ass. Fast forwarding a little bit, because believe it or not, there are other pirates I want to talk about, both Blackbeard and Bonnet decided to surrender themselves for a pardon, the latter taking a small boat to a town in North Carolina to do so. In 1717, King George I was getting real fed up with the amount of swashbuckling and debootification plaguing the high seas. So, being the buzzkill that he was, he issued a proclamation that provided any pirate who surrendered themselves a one-time pardon for all their various piratey crimes. Therefore, any and all pirates, scallywags, and or marauders who surrender thyselves before the 5th of January in the year of our king 1718, who surrender thyselves before the 5th of January in the year of our king 1718, shall be pardoned one time only for all their crimes. All crimes, you say? Including the most heinous. Does that include stabbing Spanish people? Yes. And all other peoples as well. I don't want a pardon for the French ones. What about eating stolen sushi with a knife and fork? The king will forgive you, but I can't say God will. How about the smearing of copious amounts of butter on doorknobs and or floors to make people sticky? That's not a crime. That's just weird. But what if... Now here's an example of said proclamation in action, as I will now pardon myself for the murder of that little shit. Now I trust you're all done wasting my time. You said you only get one pardon.
That's right.
Now, is it a good idea to blindly grant pardons to some of the most violent criminals in history?
No.
I don't know. Is it a good idea to pop 3-year expired antacids when you have a stomachache? Is it?
No.
When Bonnet returned to his ship, pardon in
It's
hand,
definitely
he
not
found
a
that
good
Blackbeard
idea.
had one more surprise in store for him. The legendary pirate was long gone, having taken with him all of the loot, as well as various weapons, provisions, supplies,
Get
and
fucked.
the best crewmen. At this point in his life, Bonnet was what we'd call not a happy sailor, and he was said to have developed a mortal hatred for Blackbeard. It's believed he initially sought revenge against his former ally, but he failed to chase him down and would never cross paths with him again. So instead, the man who had just gotten a pardon for piracy returned to said piracy. But this time, he had a new strategy. To mask his piracy, he would compensate the victims to make his predatory looting appear like a fair trade on paper. Therefore, it's not stealing, it's just good business. Thank you, thank you. Okay, great. Pleasure doing business with you. An old cable? This is worthless. The value comes from your imagination. Check this out. Now, can you imagine what I could do with this?
Yeah.
Having been the victim of a stupendous amount of comical
A lot of things can be done
Bonnet
with
had
that.
become a lot more violent now, even threatening to kill his own crewmen if they refused to fight at times. But this renewed piracy would be short-lived, as he was
What's
soon
to stop
captured
them
after
from
a lengthy
killing
battle
him?
with pirate hunters. He was taken to Charlestown, where he was imprisoned to await trial. But luck would strike one more time for our little gentleman pirate, as he escaped captivity to begin his life on the run. Ah, perfect.
That didn't last
I believe
long.
You gentlemen have me mistaken for another handsome devil, for I am Duke Geoffrey Snickles of Worthington. How do you do? Yep, that's Stede Bonnet right there. Book 'em, boys. Your parrot can talk? No, he just knows that one phrase. Stede was recaptured after only 4 days, and despite much pleading from not only him, but also various damsels enchanted by the charms of a gentleman pirate, he was hanged at the gallows on December 10th, 1718. While he met a bitter end, at least he can say that he fulfilled his dream. Hanging out with pirates. Okay, so I had a lot more pirate stories I wanted to talk about, and I didn't really expect Bonnet to steal the spotlight more than he ever did from ships. So let me know in the
that's almost
comments
the
if you'd
whole
like a
video.
part two. But there's still time left for one more pirate story, and for this one, we'll have to swim on over to the second most iconic pirate sanctuary in history, Somalia. When you think of piracy, you think of plank walking, parrot squawking, booty
No,
docking
that still
buccaneers.
happens
But don't let
today.
Pirates of the Caribbean deceive you. Piracy has been and
Just-
always will be a thing.
piracy
While
is
it may
different
change
today.
in shape and form, the piracy breeding conditions of poverty and low social status remain constant. And the pirates that plagued headlines from 2000 to 2017 were the infamous Somali pirates. Sure, they lost sex appeal, switching out cutlasses and sloops for AKs and rusty motorboats, but it doesn't matter how tetanus-prone a pirate vessel gets, you can never scrub out the whimsical buffoonery. Somali pirates took advantage of their 119,090,000 gumball-long coastline along one of the busiest commercial trade routes on the planet to capture foreign vessels and hold them for ransom. After
This is why all vessels should have at least a few weapons on board so that when there's pirates, you can just kill them all. If I was on a vessel, I saw pirates, I had a gun, I would, just peek over the edge and kill them. That's the best way to deal with them. Fuck around and find out,
the Somali government collapsed in the 90s, foreign powers exploited the unregulated Somali waters for their various dumping and/or fishing needs. Hey, what's going on out there? Nothing. What's that over there? This exploitation got to the point where foreign fishing in Somali waters surpassed domestic fishing, so local fishermen took it upon themselves to start defending their resources by capturing and robbing invading vessels. Seeing the potential in this practice, things rapidly escalated into the ransoming shenanigans that we're more familiar with today. But if we learned anything from Archduke Ferdinand's driver, it's that things don't always go according to plan, and what might start off as one small mistake on paper can quickly unfold into disastrous results. Such was the case for a group of Somali pirates in 2009 who set off on a routine capture of a merchant vessel. In the cover of the night, they snuck up on their target in 2 skiffs and began firing their small arms to intimidate the crew and prep them for boarding. But something was different about this attack. This merchant ship wasn't behaving how it was supposed to. Instead of maneuvering in an attempt to shake off the attacking pirates, it started heading towards them to respond.
Ram them.
This was
Kill
probably
them.
due to the fact that this was not a vulnerable cargo ship. This was the Somme, the French command ship for all naval forces
Hell
in the Indian
yeah.
Ocean.
I hope they
Whoa,
die.
Didn't see you there. In the darkness of the night, the pirates mistook the silhouette of the Somme to be a civilian merchant vessel, so what started off as a routine assault quickly turned into a hasty escape for their lives.
Oh,
as the
they
French
escaped?
warship began its pursuit. The
Aw.
skiff split up, forcing the Somme to pursue one of them for an hour before they finally surrendered and were arrested. You could probably
Arrested?
imagine the French crew got a good laugh out
Why
of this.
didn't you just
I mean,
kill them?
Somali pirates in glorified canoes attacking a warship in the middle of the night was probably the stupidest thing to ever happen.
That's dumb in my opinion. I'd be like, they fired first, so we killed them. Why did they pursue and arrest? I don't get it. With people, with scum like this, you should just kill them, not arrest them.
Happened to them. Until 6 months later when it happened again.
Ha!
Again? You guys.
And again, they
Like a
arrested
blind
them
person
instead
with
of
a bow
killing
and arrow,
them.
the pirates kept hitting the wrong
Stupid.
target. Again, accidentally attacking the French warship in the night before they realized their mistake. But as we all know, blind people are very easy to tackle. So while they tried to run, the Somme gave chase and promptly captured them. Now, you're probably waiting for me to say this happened yet a third time, and you'd be wrong. This has happened like dozens of times. And not just with this ship, mind you. I've
Wow.
heard stories of pirates attacking warships from not only France, but from Spain, America, the Netherlands, Kenya, and so on. Now, accidentally attacking Spain, America, the Netherlands, Kenya...
Kenya Navy kills 3 suspects. Okay, well, at least Kenya did well. At least they killed them. So you're telling me that the French, the Americans, and probably all of these other ones, they just arrested them, but Kenya did the right thing and simply killed them? I don't get it. Why is everyone else such a pussy? Why arrest them? Just kill them.
And so on. Now, accidentally attacking a military tanker you thought was a cargo ship is a little understandable, but accidentally attacking a Floreal-class frigate sporting what is clearly a 100mm ticket to the afterlife is a conversation I really wish I could have overheard. Are we sure this is a cargo ship? Yeah, look, you can see the containers
I mean,
right
look,
there.
they're dumb.
What about that long
They're retarded.
tube
They
pointed
don't know the
precariously
difference.
outward as if in an aiming fashion? Oh. Well, that's obviously a pool noodle. Pool noodle. What ship has a 30-foot long pool noodle sticking outside of a big box?
You think these people are smart enough to differentiate a warship from a cargo vessel? I don't think so.
I don't know, Dan, a water park supply ship for fat Americans? Just fucking grab the AK and let's steal some floaties. Again, in 2009, Somali pirates mistakenly attacked the French frigate, Neve, assuming it was a merchant vessel. But to be fair, this time the French were being a little devious. They had positioned themselves in the sun to try to lure the pirates in before capturing all 11 of them. So I guess if the sun was truly shining in all of
Why do they
Apollo's
take them
glory that
prisoner?
day, I can kinda buy a few dudes in a little boat trekking through the waves of an open ocean, not making out a warship until the last second. But there's really no excuse for the time in 2006.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole, but I feel like shooting them is a better idea. And hell, if you have big guns on your warship, you can shoot them and then there's not even any evidence left. Or any evidence that is left will just sink to the bottom of the sea. Probably.
Where Somali pirates were faced with not one, but 2 US Navy warships and still decided to fight. An American destroyer, the USS Gonzales, was on an anti-piracy patrol when it spotted what looked like a pirate mothership on the horizon. It was joined by the missile cruiser, the USS Cape St. George, who both trailed the oblivious pirates until dawn. They then sent boarding teams and inflatable boats to investigate, but once the Somali buccaneers noticed them approaching, they decided to open fire on the boarding parties from nearly point-blank range. The Americans returned fire as they retreated, but this was only the tip of the batshit insane.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Why the fuck would you risk regular people's lives trying to capture this fucking scum? Just shoot them and kill them all. Why take the risk in trying to capture them?
An iceberg that
Idiots.
was these pirates' decision-making skills, as they then decided to shoot their AKs and RPGs at the American destroyer and missile cruiser. Hey, so this is a destroyer, right? Correct.
Yeah,
Short
it
for
destroys
torpedo boat
things.
Destroyer, actually. They were invented to specialize in destroying specifically smaller vessels. Oh, yeah. Anyway, fulfilling its ancient duty, the American destroyer made short work of this battle, igniting a skiff in American hellfire when its tracer rounds hit a fuel drum. This seemed to be just the stimulant the other pirates' prefrontal cortexes needed to finally engage, as they then decided to surrender after leaving just a few scratches on the warships. It's really hard to imagine what the, game plan was for these Somali pirates. Maybe they thought they could
Again,
intimidate and confuse
they don't have
the Americans for
brains.
just long enough to make a quick escape. Or
Their
maybe they were
heads are
looking to commit
empty.
suicide in a way that was most expensive for American taxpayers. But perhaps their full plan hasn't been realized just yet. While 12 captures and 1 kill were tallied, a Somali pirate spokesman said that 27 pirates had gone out to sea. So my theory is that the remaining 14 had snuck aboard the American ships, slowly integrated into the military-industrial complex, and had been creeping their way up through government ranks so that one day they could maybe, just maybe, have enough power to reinstate Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, the one and only king of the pirates. Godspeed, Somalia. Wacky pirates. 12 out of 10 stars.
I think I've made myself pretty clear, but just in case I didn't, I'll say it again. Every fucking pirate today that tries to attack cargo ships, in my opinion, should be gunned down like a rabid animal. No mercy, no fucking taking them prisoner, just shoot them in the head, kill them, wipe them off the face of the earth, because we do not need that kind of scum on this planet. Well, yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next video.